Hi, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. I had no idea where to record this video. I didn't want to do it in front of my hair products. For some reason, I didn't want to do it in front of the window that I'm using for a while. So I'm kind of just in like some weird situation here. I'm just sitting in my bedroom and yeah. Hi, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. I recently got a comment on my I'm Not Okay video. I'll link it in the cards, where I opened up about my feelings of isolation and loneliness and all that jazz. Particularly, if not largely due to the pandemic, and partially just because that's where I am at this point in my life. The comment, while possibly to have been taken by some as offensive, actually didn't offend me at all. But it did make me think, because I've often asked myself the same question. The commenter suggested that maybe I have no friends because I'm just not friend material. And to their credit, it's an interesting point. I do admit that given I've never really had a close, really close best friend for an extended period of time, where I've had the chance to develop strong feelings, even coming near that familial bond that a lot of people seem to feel with their friends, I've always had a hard time understanding, from a personal perspective, how someone could have these family-like bonds or friendships with anyone outside of their family. My friends have never been high priority in the grand scheme of things. And while I'm a thoughtful person, a good person, I can be fun to be around for some, and whatever else, it's possible that I haven't naturally grown into a friend material person. I'm a flake, I never care enough, I guess, and that might actually be it. So this isn't necessarily a clean transition to the point of this video, but it's related enough, and I'm seeing enough of a linkage. So this video is actually about my pet peeves. Because in addition to what I've already said, a lot of things bother me. I get annoyed relatively easily, and this may be a very strong contributing factor. Maybe I don't have friends because I'm just too difficult and miserable. My mother would certainly take that perspective, and maybe you would too. After you watch this video, just let me know. Before I get started though, I always like to make a quick disclaimer. I more often than not do not hold any of these against people in general. And I really don't want to repel anyone on this platform that I have built a good or great rapport with, whether or not they have done or said any of these things. I have never been fake in my communication with anyone. I'm not being insincere. So let's just take a chance and do this video. This is a quick and dirty list that I put together. And since I'm not doing hair content right now, I figure why not give this a shot. Given I am currently still pregnant, I'm 38 weeks, so let's get the ball rolling there. Number 1, everyone thinking that when they see a pregnant woman, that you have to give them an update on how big they've gotten. Just so you know, we get weighed every time we go into a prenatal appointment and are fully aware of our widening girth. The worst is you look like you're about to pop. Well, thank you. That's what every girl wants to hear. And not to mention, I well remember the intense pain that whole poppage thing felt like when I was carrying Layla. It literally felt like she was going to pry her way out through my stomach skin. So when you're telling someone that, you're talking about their discomfort because it's very uncomfortable to be about to pop. Maybe this varies from person to person because after all, we are still people, not robot vessels that we are often treated like. I'm large, I'm uncomfortable, I'm incredibly self-conscious walking around looking like Gru from Despicable Me. And all I need right now is for you to confirm how it looks like the seams of my clothing are about to rip apart from the force. Let's laugh and celebrate this whole massive situation I've got going on right now, right? Some people don't mind. Some people embrace pregnancy. They love it. They relish the attention and just any opportunity to talk about their pregnancy. It all comes down to personality. I don't dislike people that don't mind this. It's just that me as a person, as an independent person, that comment bothers me. Too many people assume one universal shared personality for the pregnant, and not to mention for the more persistent state of then becoming a mother. Which brings me to number 2. People calling me mom and mommy because I have children. Or speaking to me like I am a child because I have a child or children. Happens in schools, hospitals, children's events, pretty much anywhere children exist or anywhere in space or time where someone learns that I happen to have children. I never see men being referred to as dad or daddy in public settings. Well, no, okay. In the hospital, when Aiden and Layla were born, it's possible the staff called Nick dad. But in my experience, those were only isolated times. My name is Amanda. Please call me as such. Number 3 coming off number 2. Why do so many people call me by the nicknames my children call me? My kids call me Mimi. Something that was very cute at first, but now the two of them have used it so much and in such obnoxious situations that it even bothers me when they use it. But for now, for instance, Aiden's teacher calls me Mimi. It bothers me. It's possible that this whole attitude stems from my having never been a child person, I'm still really not. But women seem to, by default, lose their identities as soon as they conceive. I love my children with everything that I have. I think they're fantastic as children go. But my being a mother is only one aspect of what I'd like to think I am as a human being. Yes, okay, despite the fact that I have relinquished my identity as a working woman, working mother, having decided, along with Nick, that I would quit my career to stay home and watch them. When we do finally exit this pandemic, I really hope that my entire existence no longer has to 100% revolve around my children, as they would be out of the house again for school. I do like a well-behaved, intelligent child, or even a mean child with an edge like Layla. I'm not a monster. I find kid things cute sometimes, but let's leave it to the kids. One of the most annoying things to me is adults acting like kids, like Blippi. If you have kids, maybe you know who this is. If you don't, then I guess you don't. Number 4, and boy, I actually did not realize this was going to be such a continuous thread when I started putting together this list, this whole like kids, pregnancy, adults thing. And the connection point here is this isn't actually a kids thing. It seemed to have expanded well beyond kids speak. But what happened to the word vegetables? I understand people like abbreviating things, but there should be limits. I use Green Chef, a food delivery service geared towards adults. Recently, I'm also using Marley Spoon, again, adults. And all of the recipe cards, all of the email communications, they say veggie or veggies instead of vegetables. And it drives me insane. I don't think it's a paper character thing either. I think it's just this new culture of making things cutesy. But why the need? I also use Little Spoons and Nurture Life for some pre-made kids meals and smoothies. My kids are not the ones coordinating the deliveries, managing email communications with the company, preparing their food, or handling any aspect of it for that matter. And let me just acknowledge though, disclaimer time again. I think Nurture Life and especially Little Spoons are fantastic brands with amazing customer service and quality products. That being said though, every communication with them ends up being a little bit annoying. They call me mom or mommy or mama. They call my kids kiddos. There are exclamation points all over the place. Call them my kids, my children, my offspring, dependents for all I care. I am not that person. And the assumption that this is how I want to be spoken to bothers me. I don't think that they're trying to be purposely annoying or offensive. I mean, why would they? My oldest sister, for example, is this kind of cutesy, kid-loving person, and she revels in this kind of speak. Talk to her like that, not me. Her use of the word jammies and yummy both send me into an immediate tailspin. I do actually also discourage my children from using these words, but they are in no way deprived military children. They are still allowed to and encouraged to have tons of fun. But I want my kids to be easily consumable for the majority of the adult population. And in my defense, I do spend a lot, if not all of my awake time with them. And I shouldn't have to constantly be on edge in my own home. Just because it seems like it's very related to this. I actually call my kids animals or wild animals. That's like those are two of their current nicknames. And they act more like wild animals than fully functioning decent people half the time. And I say it with love. Some of their other nicknames do include Buttercup. I call Aiden that right now. The occasional Sweetie, Child, Rayla. I don't know why I call Layla Rayla. BBG, which is short for baby girl. So I also do call them by like terms of endearment. It's just, that's not everything. Number 5, mac and cheese for the same reason. This is probably such an obnoxious take. I feel like I'm going to lose so many people. It's macaroni and cheese. To be fair though, and I don't know why this is, I find it way more annoying, or maybe I find it only annoying when members of my family do this and not the general population. I don't know why. Mac and cheese and OJ. It's orange juice. OJ is OJ Simpson or Oscar Johnson or Orin Jacobs. Yeah, I guess context and all, you know what the person's referencing. But yeah, OJ for orange juice just always gets me. It irks me. I don't know why I'm so difficult. Number 6, sniffling, aka sucking snot back up your nose. Seemingly 90% of the population does this. I started wearing earplugs or just blasting music throughout my days back when I was out in the world, out in public, on public transit and in my office, just because I reached a point where I could just no longer take it. So pre-2020, I was already in the earplugs and I was wearing masks back then when I was out because I just can't deal with people's secretions, whether they're sucking them back up or expelling them indiscriminately. Number 7, small talk. Although to be honest, this is actually not something that bothers me. I'm keeping it on the list just because it did like come to mind because it used to be something that bothered me. That would have been on my list a couple of years ago, but now, almost 2 years into isolation and no longer even having a semblance of friends anymore, I can actually see the value in a little small talk from time to time. 2020 and 2021 now 2022, so far have taught me that human interaction, no matter how annoying and frivolous, isn't actually the worst thing in the world. Number 8, coffee obsessions. This is mostly though because I'm jealous, and I fully admit that. I don't like coffee, wine, beer, or any of the staple things that people seem to pull so much joy from. I actually don't think that there's anything that the general population loves that I even like remotely. Thank goodness I started enjoying sweets when I turned 25 or so, because there would be literally nothing that just like brings me that kind of like indulgent joy that people find in so many things. More recently though, I had been off sugar, and I mentioned this in a few of my videos. I had been off sugar for like probably over 2 years on my like health kick. But with everything going on in the world and just like my mindset, my mood, I opened up that door because I just couldn't take all the suffering. I needed something, and it's amazing. I keep a bag of Sour Patch Kids, sour worms, or whatever in my car at any given time because it brings me joy. I would love to get rid of sugar again because I do think that the health is important, but something had to give. Speaking of though, I'm pretty positive I have a cavity now, and I do have to get that checked out. This isn't a joke. I'm pretty sure I have one on the left side of my mouth, so that's... The sugar's not great, but it's great. Number 9, absolutely anything that comes across as a lie or sales tactic. For example, we're doing a deck renovation right now. We have been for the last few months, and it's finally wrapping up, and we're looking for outdoor furniture. Of course, since we talk about it at home, it's all over my Facebook, Instagram, and anywhere on the web that I navigate. I came across a brand recently that claimed to have the best and most comfortable furniture in the world. I mean, what? How can you make such a claim? I reached out for them to state their case, and they did come back to me with their explanation. But I mean, it was pretty standard. It was nothing proprietary or even sounding remotely special in comparison to the other quality outdoor furniture companies. How are you saying that you are the best in the world? Have you looked at every single furniture company in the world and tested them out? I mean, come on. And don't get me started on beauty, namely hair products. You read the labels and it sounds like after applying the last product in your wash day, no matter where you started, you are going to have long, luscious, flowing, shiny, immaculate tresses at the end. I mean, that's just not how it works, so don't say it on the advertising. I don't think the advertising should instead say, we think these products are good, but at the end of the wash day, whatever happens is going to happen. It's probably based on your hair, not our products. That's too far, but I feel like there are so many words out there that you can use in combination to say something that still makes your product sound glowing, but not like you're just a complete liar, you know? Speaking of company pet peeves, when you place an order with an online retailer and 2 minutes later, the company sends you a coupon to buy more. And just to mention, they don't always send a coupon. They're just like, oh, we think you might like this too. Not offering any money off, but why don't you go and buy this because you just bought that other stuff? Dial back the greed. I think a better option would be, hey, here's something else you might want based on your order. Here's X% off if you want to include this item in your existing order. Because they're sending you this email like 3 minutes after you place the order. Maybe they could add something to it and give you a discount. That, while possibly mildly obnoxious and greedy if you don't want to spend more, is in my mind a more acceptable business tactic. And maybe even a good one. Number 11, and the last one. Overuse of the term gaslighting on social media. Pretty straightforward. It's just one of those things that like sometimes things get overused. In my opinion, the term gaslighting is just, it's overused at this point. That's it for now. I have more, but another pet peeve is people rambling for way too long. And I don't want to be part of my problem. Something funny though, depending on your sense of humor. Nick saw that I was prepping for this video because he's nosy and he was reading over my shoulder. And he asked me if this would be titled How to Lose Subscribers or How to Lose Support for Being Like a Jerk. How to Alienate Yourself from Other Humans. He's also afraid that this video would end up being all pet peeves about him because he knows that I must have plenty. I assured him it wasn't, and to be fair, I didn't even mention Nick. Made me think though, it might be fun to do like another video about pet peeves in marriage because I've got quite a bit of those. Curious as to the response I'll get here. Did you like me before? Dislike me now? Do you want to hear more? Like what? Just tell me in the comments. And I'd love to know if any of these things bother anyone else because that would make me feel a little bit more comfortable having put this out. Also, completely unrelated note, before I end this video, I just wanted to say, I washed my hair in under an hour this past weekend because I didn't have to style it because I have it in braids until my delivery. And it was fantastic. My hair is resting, I'm not breaking any strands, I'm not developing any more single strand knots. I don't have to think about or cater to my hair's whims and needs. I'm just tossing it in a bun or a ponytail each day. Doesn't look good. I'm not confused about that. But that's what satin hats are for and headbands. Neither of which I'm wearing right now, but I've been trying to record this video for like 3 weeks. I just wanted to get it out before I go into labor. If you've been watching my hair content, I feel like I've reached a little bit of a plateau, and this might be what my hair needs to reach that next length level. So I'd like to have it up for a bit. And that being said, I would have to come up with other content if I feel like making more videos. So I'd like to know how this one's going. I don't really talk to people on a regular basis. There's so much stuff that I have to talk about. The hair content will definitely be back. And I'm definitely going to continue with my reviews, including my week 3 curl origin, when things have, I don't want to say settled down with the baby because I don't know how that's going to happen. But it's at some point, I will put out my 3rd review. Right now, I'm busy with 2 kids home all day. I'm homeschooling again, as I mentioned in my last video. Household stuff, and I can't imagine that having 3 kids home all day, plus all those other things, is going to afford me any extra time, but we'll see. Also, I haven't worked out since November. That's how bad things are. And this is coming from a place of me working out like 4 to 6 days a week before everything went just like, I do work out on my wash days, but it's for like 12 minutes because I have to like at least have something. And a workout is also part of my wash routine. But doing that once every few weeks to me does not count as working out. And I'm also no longer at my weekly tennis clinic because I don't have adequate and consistent coverage anymore, so I had to quit that. So I have to end it here because I actually have to end it here. I have to go get started on cooking the multiple dinners. But thank you for watching. If you like my content and have decided to keep following me after this video, then again, thank you. And I'll talk to you in my next one. Thanks, and have a good one.